Hey friends, good afternoon. We have a special guest with us, Dr. Anupama, who is joining today. Dr. Anupama has a PhD in marketing, and she has got 20 years of experience in teaching, training, and she has been building and going along with institutions through her consulting experience. And she's got outstanding contribution in academics. She is also awarded as Women Excellence Award in 2020 and Ambitions Award in Education in 2020. She is currently the principal of EThames Degree College, Hyderabad, and also director of Promx Pharma. So, did I pronounce all of these correctly, ma'am?
Hi Ravi and hi everybody. Yeah, you did almost pronounce it correctly. It's Promx Parama.
Promax, Promx,
Parama.
Promx, Parama. Okay, good, ma'am. So nice, nice. Thanks for taking time out. It's nice to have you here with so much of educational experience in consulting, and I've heard about the activities you do around apart from your regular work. So, ma'am, over to you. Maybe you can talk more about yourself, what you're currently doing, how did this evolve, and so that we can have our new friends connect with you well.
Thank you so much, Ravi. First of all, I would like to thank you and WurkTV for providing people like me with a platform to connect to so many others. I'm even watching your other episodes with your other guests.
Okay.
All those people who are watching, please watch WurkTV. It's fantastic, and I really love the way Ravi brings out. All the should I say all the passion of the people who he interviews on.
Thank you.
And that's so much for Ravi. Well, he said that I'm a better person to talk about myself, but I feel it's not so. It's very difficult to talk about yourself actually. I'll try my best to just give a small gist of what Anupama is all about.
Mm-hmm.
I belong to an Orthodox Brahmin family and I'm the youngest of the siblings. I have an elder brother and a sister. I did my MBA from Osmania University and I went on to do my Ph.D. from the University of Hyderabad, which is one of the top ranking universities and the pride of Hyderabad. And from there, I had a short stint with HSBC, HDPI. I was an assistant manager training and migrated projects from UK to India. Mm-hmm. Then I went on with my research and I did my PhD in branding. Okay. It's a very interesting thing, maybe I'll relate to it later on. And post that, I was into institution building and set up Vishwavishwani Institute of Systems and Management, which is quite famous here in Hyderabad. It's a business school. My other streams include being a principal of PG College, Rishi UBR PG College, and right now I am the principal of EThames Degree College, apart from being a consultant always. Okay. I love doing organizational development activities, branding, and this is my passion actually. But as you said, the most passionate thing about me is writing. Mm-hmm. First, because I write fiction for a hobby, and I'm equally passionate about shaping young minds because I love working with young people. The age groups are from 6 to 60 because I found that many people at 60 are very young and young at heart. They want to contribute so much towards the society. So it involves everybody, be it the kid, be it the parents, be it the other stakeholders in the society. So these are the two things that I am passionate about. And that's it. That's it, I think, Ravi, about me.
Yeah, the last part about being passionate about youngsters and inspiring them. I think that takes a lot of effort, than all the other roles.
Yes.
You're basically.
Let me tell you that it's not so easy to do it in a country like India, where we all know that the educational system is ill-placed. And when I say this, I'm not complaining as a government or anybody, because we know how difficult it is here, because we are such a diverse lot. So you really need to work from the grassroots level in order to bring that so-called change in the youngsters. So definitely it's a very difficult exercise. And we have a different kind of a cultural and a family setup here in India. be it the teachers, be it the parents, be it the society, or be it the government with its education structure and all that. It is definitely a very, very difficult and diverse task.
I agree with you. So out of all these journeys, writing is something which you just told, and which we were not aware of. So how did that start, and why fictional stories?
Well, for an academician, we are mostly stuck in our research activities and writing research papers. It's basically factual and it is not at all fantastic, if I may say so. So you dig for data, you analyze it and try to prove something, and then either fail or you succeed in establishing a theory. For me, fiction writing is kind of a stress buster. I took to it because I can fancy write whatever I want to, provided there are some idiots like me who write, with due respect to my readers. But at the same time, it also colluded with a short, health problem that I had. So I was convalescing, and I am a person who can't just sit idle. I need to do something all the time, and I still remember that even bedridden, I took my laptop and started typing something, and it all happened that way actually. I started writing on a forum. Okay. And I started with a fan fiction actually, to be very honest, because I mind you, I didn't even watch the teleserial that was being telecasted that time, but I saw that the write-ups were pretty. I used to find them very funny, and I said, why shouldn't I try my hand at it? And then I started writing, and I published about 9 novels now. I write anonymously, so please don't ask me on what name I write my novels, but I published about 9 novels till date.
Okay. Well, why anonymous? Why anonymous? I mean, did you have the fear that people will say who wrote this, or was that you didn't want to put that as one of your hobbies?
I don't had any fear, Ravi. Trust me. It's not out of fear. It's like this. Are you a reader yourself?
No, I am very bad at reading, honestly. One page, I'm like tull. I'm like sleepy.
Any readers and the viewers will understand that a reader has got a particular platform on which he or she would judge a particular cover. A book is judged by its cover. It's a fact. So when you write fiction, and most of us Indians usually have read, at least my generation and the next few generations have read only Western authors mostly.
Yeah.
Indian authors have been favored. Let's take it with a pinch of salt. We are not popular as writers, although we have read a lot of Indian authors also. With due respect, because I'm also an author. I've read a lot of Swami Vivekananda, I've read a lot of other people also, but at the same time, they're not authors. Basically, thought leaders or something like that. Fiction-wise, Indian authors are not so popular as the Western people are.
I agree with you.
It doesn't go with it. Like, for example, I write different genres of novels, like from romance to intrigue to whatnot. And, just look at my name. And there is a fancy title which goes by my name, will not be preferred. I'm also a branding expert at the same time, because I know how images are built and all that. Let's take it with a pinch of salt. So somehow I said, no, this name wouldn't match the profile of an author who writes in English. But even as a writer, I tried to do a little bit of my own research, and I wanted to dig into the gap that existed in fiction writing in India. And then I found out that there are only Western novels or Western write-ups or Western fiction works that are preferred by people all across the world. Why not desi stuff? Why can't we have Indian heroes, Indian heroines, and Indian setups? And instead of Christmas being the backdrop, why can't we have Diwali being the backdrop? This small thing. So that's how it all started. So then I said, I need to write anonymously. It was sort of an experiment that I did, and it clicked well. Let me tell you.
Well, yeah, obviously it will click well, ma'am, because Indians, we have more emotions, with respect to fiction, love stories, and all that. Credit not only goes to Yash Raj
and all that, which we can build our weave our fabric of a story into.
Mm.
So sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, we have so many emotions attached, much more than the Western countries. We look at love in each and every aspect, small things, uh, whereas that might not be available in the other countries. So we can create, I think, much more stories, and yeah, I think some of these movies by Yash Raj Films and these things have added fuel to it. But yeah, I think we have. I agree with you. We have much more stories to share, experiences to share than the other countries.
Trust me, yes.
Good one. So, what are your future plans? What are you up to now?
Well, I'm always up to something or the other. Usually, all my I call them my kids. All the people that I usually mentor and take care of and all that. I have lot many plans, but I don't believe in building institutions anymore.
Mm.
I feel that each one of us should get to the grassroots level and try to become a mentor, being a mentee ourselves at a particular level and a mentor at a particular level, so that we generally raise our, the well-being or the feel-good part of our society. Now I'll tell you how I work. I think you wanted me to
Yes.
tell that.
Yes. Yeah.
What happens is usually I find in our country that young people all across the world, they don't have a set aim or a focus.
Mm.
Out of 100 people, you might find one fellow who might really have his goals set and all that, which is rather rare because that is the age when you are like, if you find a kid of about 6 years, we can take our own kids. I have a daughter. At 6, she told me she wanted to become a pilot. At 9, she said, no, I'm going to become a taxi driver. Then now she tells me that she wants to become a lawyer.
Mm.
And who knows, maybe later on she'll go and join the army. So this is the learning part and the reinforcement and the growing up phase makes the kids or young people come into contact with different expressions or manifestations of what they can be. So they are very vulnerable at that age, and some people really do very well for themselves when they fix themselves up to certain goals. Now, what happens in our country is we do not have a proper counseling system in our schools. Neither do we have it in any of our, even 12th level, 12th or graduation, undergraduation levels or PG levels. This is the irony, because there's nobody who can actually sit with you and do it unless and until you go for a professional analysis. So what I usually do, what are my plans for future? That's what your question is all about. And what I usually do is wherever I go across the twin cities of Hyderabad and Secunderabad, sometimes outside also, to address young people. I took the platform of human values because that's a very, very easy way to relate to other human beings. And it appeals to all age groups provided you are a good storyteller. So I contact, I connect with people because I'm usually invited for some or the other as an expert in a subject. So even if I'm talking about branding, when I look at younger people, I just relate to them and try to find out that's somebody who has got this, spark. Okay. And people usually come to you also because at an age they have all these kinds of inquisitiveness about what should we be doing in future and all that. And they find that if you're a good storyteller, they'll come, they'll relate to you, they'll ask, and they keep asking me, "Ma'am, what should I become?" That is how I catch hold of them. I slowly tell them don't go into so many things, and I'll help them in their goal setting exercises, motivate them, get them to some kind of training. I have some or the other person who is willing to sponsor a kid or two if they are really willing and their economic situation doesn't allow them to, take the coaching or go for the proper training or something like that. And slowly, I have some rules for them though. They'll have to, in principle, agree to certain rules that they'll not stay, they'll stick to their goals, they'll, all the usual stuff that goes with it. And so my future plans for now are I deal on an individual to individual basis. I have a target of about at least 100 to 150 such trained people in the society by the end of 2022.
Nice.
So I've come to about 53 now. So I think in another 2 years I'll be able to add another 40 odd people. So this is the target that I have personally. I don't see myself setting up any institution, or these are things that will yield results, no doubt. But at the same time, I don't want to get lost in establishing the institution where I'll waste my golden years that can be spent with the younger generation developing them. See, my logic is very simple. Every generation, new generation, will add to the society. This is how I feel. They'll become the society now. Let us say, assuming by the legal structure, after you cross your 18, you're still a part of society, but you're into the active society. So if we can do even this much of difference to that part of the society which is being added right now, I think we are making world a safer place for generations to come.
True. Very true.
This is how I work at it. So my future work is about 40 odd people. All of you who are listening who are young, you can just come and get enrolled with me. There's no entrance, by the way.
Nice. Very good. I'm sure this is what the younger generation need. This is what they need, hand holding. There are a lot of kids who actually come to the city with their dreams. They get stuck. They don't have people to talk to. Again, I'm sure you're talking about kids whose parents are not well settled, or they're not from the city. They're basically from villages, and might not be in a position to handhold them. Here in the city, yeah, it's pretty okay. The parents might spend some time, or they might have a circle where they can talk about. But there are
May I add something here?
Yeah, please.
It's same even in the urban parents, and I find that rural parents these days are much better off than the urban parents. I'm sorry, but take it from me, because now I'm a principal of a degree college. I see that the parents are more at fault than let all of us parents take it with a pinch of salt, that we are more at fault than the kids. The kids they are ready to be molded. So it is a misnomer or a misnotion when we say that people from the villages don't have any idea. No, I don't think so. A parent is a parent, and we are equally blind wherever we are stationed. Good. This is what I wanted to add. I'm sorry.
Good insights. But yeah, you're on the ground. I'm sure you're the one with experience. You will know how things are practically. There a lot of perceptions. Like I can have a perception, but how it really works on the ground. It's a good point. So, ma'am, this is also about more about you than your activities and the achievements you've been. So we have some rapid fire questions for you. I hope you are all set.
Yeah, I hope my bulletproof is intact.
Okay. So how decisive or indecisive are you?
I'm 60% indecisive.
Okay. So who takes the decisions most of the time?
Me.
You.
After 40% fights and wins.
Okay. Good one. What is the best practical joke you were pulled into or have seen somebody being pulled in?
Practical joke? None, because I'm supposed to be a very, one amongst the serious lot.
Mm-hmm.
But till date, I was not pulled into any practical jokes.
No, you've not even experienced somebody doing a practical joke on others? Not even during your college days, school days?
Even now, I have so many, but I don't recall them right now. Let's be honest about it.
But I really envy, people who are still, associated with colleges and all that. It's so lively. It's so fun to be around the college. My previous office, I was working from a college for almost two years. And it's so energetic, it's so positive, it's so lively, working around younger generations. So
yes.
I really envy.
Then get into all kinds of pranks, but at the same time, none strikes me right now. I didn't know that, it would be such a lively session. I thought the usual questions will be asked. I didn't know about this rapid fire.
No usual questions. No usual questions about your profession at all. Okay, the next question. What's something from your childhood that used to be common those days, but it's pretty rare these days?
Reading,
Reading?
yes. Playing outside, scaling walls, getting hurt, talking to friends a lot, meeting the neighbors. There's so many things that are not there right now. And most importantly, you just asked me about practical joke. Pranking is, has taken new levels now, which are going beyond reason. But in those days, we used to be great pranksters. I don't find that kind of a camaraderie in kids these days. Depression amongst kids is more now, and it was rarely there.
True, I agree with that. So, how different is social environment for kids in school now versus 10 to 20 years back?
Completely different.
Hmm.
Because school kids were kids still when we were school kids. Now, a 4-year-old the other day told me that he has a girlfriend.
Okay.
I know in his own context,
Yeah.
and
I also had those days. So, just that I didn't tell my mom.
yeah, but,
I
at
did not
least
have
we
a
have
teacher
already
to,
put it
I did not have a nice
out
teacher
there.
like you to express my feelings that day.
Exactly. The expression has changed. Let's also think about some positive things like articulation
Yeah, I know.
has really developed amongst kids, communication skills and all that. But at the same time, the social environment part of it is different because kids were very young at heart in those days.
Hmm.
I find now that maybe it's because of the information explosion or because of too much of exposure. Kids lack that childlike innocence nowadays. Kids
Hmm.
are kids, all ages, but somehow I feel that all this is denting their innocence levels or the growth part. And I also find that kids these days are very stubborn.
Yeah.
We were very malleable, if I may say so. These days, and positively, they know their mind very well these days. Kids, they know what they're doing, what they want to do. We were not so sure then. So the social environment, for me, there is one development that I can share because I go to villages also to talk to kids and all that, which is not so very healthy. Let me take this platform to share that.
Please.
There's a lot of social status consciousness also amongst kids these
Hmm.
days, which wasn't there when I was a school kid. I find it glaringly so these days. We all must do something about it because there shouldn't be that kind of a differentiation amongst kids. And I find it now. Actually, it should have been the other way around because now we are more aware and we are a more evolved society. But I find that this status consciousness has come into the kids' life now more so than before.
Yeah, I know. So some of the kids, I see the parents, get them dropped in, luxury cars instead of sending them through bus. I think they should stop doing that because when the kids get into the bus, that's where, as soon as they come out of their house, they're just students. There's no taglines, there's no social status as such, and that should be their behavior rather than separate experience for them. Other kids seeing them and having that, creating that barrier, saying that, oh, this guy is like very rich or from a different
Very
society.
much
So I
prevalent,
think,
Ravi, not just in rural India, but also it is, as I told you, we feel that, in the rural schools and colleges it is so. No, it is more as much in the urban context. I feel something has to be done by all the stakeholders, especially the teaching fraternity and the parents, to bring it down. This is what I find.
so what do you think people automatically assume about you when they look at you?
People automatically assume that I'm a strict person, I'm a dragon, and I don't enjoy my life. And since I don't recollect pranks and practical jokes, people think that I'm boring. It's a fact,
Okay.
but I'm not so. People close to me
That's the
know.
reason we have this platform, so that we get to know you well, and then so that you don't have to explain that you're not boring.
That is.
So next question: what's the curiosity killed the cat story of you?
What's the curiosity in the cat story of me? So many are there. Which one do I look at? This is a very tough rapid fire form.
We choose based on your experience, your knowledge, and all that. So we choose put that all that aside for special people.
No, I'll recollect a very silly thing that happened, because that's what you were hinting at. That happened during my school days. We used to have a very big banyan tree in our school, and there were so many stories that were talked about it. It's a very big tree. And then there were so many stories about it, and nobody used to go near the tree after 3 o'clock or something like that. And I used to be eternally curious about what was happening there. And once I ventured out after 6 o'clock in the evening, and I tried to go and do a little bit of snooping around. Although you're not allowed to enter the grounds, there was a land which was adjacent to it, which was vacant, and the tree was almost towards the boundaries of the school. I went there, and incidentally that day, there was a thunderstorm, and a big branch of the tree had fallen down onto the other side. And some people got hurt also. So I was like, I couldn't finish my investigation, but I was scared to death, and I had fever for about 3 days. And I never could crack the mystery. And till date, trust me, I think that that place is haunted.
Yeah. There are some locations, though we've evolved, I still feel that there are some places which are haunted, and I do experience some, things. Maybe we can discuss someday offline on mysterious things that happened with me. Maybe I'll give you one story which you can write it in another book.
Why not? Let's work on it.
Okay. So, what's the weirdest thing that you've seen on someone's phone?
What is it?
Weirdest thing that you have seen on someone's phone, not your phone.
The weirdest thing that I saw on someone's phone?
Yes.
There was this chap's phone that had a screensaver in it, which was so weird. I mean, it's obviously the weirdest thing that there was a screensaver where there is a skull sort of a face that comes out. That's fine. People do have that kind of weird screensavers, but 5 seconds down the lane, the eyes pop out, and coffee mugs come out of it, and coffee is poured instead of blood. I don't know where he got it, but it sure freaked me out.
Yeah, some weird thing, Unfortunately, there are brands which are coming up where even kids are liking that, like Skull Daddy, etc. Where the brand logos themselves are like, yeah.
But it freaked me out because I was like, just left it on my table and was there, and then suddenly I see that this is opening up and something is poured. I thought I expected it to be blood. I'm a writer too. So I was like imagining all kinds of things, and coffee comes out, too much come out, and it's so weird.
Okay, what website or app on your phone completely changed your life for better or for worse? Either better or worse.
It would look more like an advertisement if I say for it.
Yeah, we're not promoting it, so no
All
logo.
social media apps I feel have changed our life for worse. Let me tell you. But there is one app of Grammarly. Being a writer or a teacher, I found that it is very, very helpful. It changed my life, right? Because you don't need to sit and edit a lot.
Yeah. Grammarly is really useful.
Grammarly is very good. And if you don't want me to sound very teacher-like, then there is this app which recently I downloaded. I don't remember it. It's a fitness app.
Okay. Cure Fit.
And, okay, we'll not take brand names.
Okay. Yeah. Some fitness app.
So definitely it has gotten a lot of interest into fitness and other stuff. Yes.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. If it's positive, yeah, you can confidently mention it, because
No, that's fine.
yeah. If it's controversial, if it's not, maybe we can skip the brand name.
Actually,
Okay. What makes you feel old?
I don't feel old. If you want me to feel old, then I'll have to think about it and tell you. Then it won't be a rapid fire round.
Okay.
Half of the people tell me that although I am, the principal's role is the head of the institution is like you are supposed to be a mama for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm not. So I don't feel old because I feel that I'm young at heart. If you have to work with young people, you better be in tandem with what their thoughts and what they're thinking and other stuff goes. So I don't feel what makes me think old. Maybe if I have to convert my answer, the same answer, the day on which I won't be able to relate to what the different generation people are talking to me about, younger ones especially, then I think I'll be old. I feel old when you are non-reactive, complacent, and taking everything lying down, then you're definitely old.
Got you. Good point. So, tell something about the notorious things during your childhood, college days, best friends, super masti that you've done in your life, which you will always relish.
School days were really musty times. I have so many memories, and all of us batchmates still interact thanks to the various gadgets that we have, WhatsApp, Facebook, and all that. And I was a topper in my school, so not many friends, but two of my best friends and me, we were awesome threesome and we used to do a lot of masti. If I tell you all those things now, they'll be watching this. Others are going to give us a thumbs down. Do you want more dislikes to your channel? You tell me.
What are their names? Your best, two-some friends or threesome friends.
College days in MBA, I was the only girl in the group with 3 boys.
Oh my God!
It had a fantastic time because initially I didn't know that they were befriending me for my notes. And there was this funny chap. He wanted me to recollect certain things. So one of them, there was this funny chap who used to nicely, cozily sit beside me. I used to think that, okay, he's out of these 3, he's the best person I can relate. Actually, he used to come and nicely doze off during all the lectures because later on I used to you find me so comfortable that you can doze off. It literally used to sleep on my shoulder if I can.
I was going in imagination, somebody is coming very close to you nicely. I was like going into the imagination and then you're like suddenly, yeah, I think writers do that, they take you to the cliff and then, make you fall down from the cliff.
I'm a successful writer too. So this chap used to come and nicely sleep off. Then we used to have a particular professor for public enterprises management. I don't think it is there in the syllabus now in MBA syllabus when I was doing my MBA. And there was this professor who was an ex-IAS officer. He was also a member of several committees, several committees that were in the planning commission and all that. He used to come and teach us public enterprises management. Now, public enterprises management is a boring subject. Everybody knows that because you talk about how public enterprises are managed. And it was right after the lunch time. That means it is sleeping time for most of the people. Yeah. And I was a topper even in MBA also. And, I had to listen to, this is in the genes maybe. I don't know what was in the blood. I had to listen to every lecture and take down notes. And worst part is, even if I wanted to do some masti also, the lecturers used to ask me to give my notes to them sometimes. So that was a no-no for me. So it was like I was trapped in my own goodness. So I used to sit and jot down the entire notes, and the entire class used to take a photocopy of it later on. I never knew that I slogged so much for everybody. That's a different issue. This chap used to come in. very, very regularly. And the moment PEM was there, he used to come and doze off on my shoulder. I couldn't even move because I don't move during sessions. I'm such a rapt listener. And you know what? Later on, they told me, I used to think that he feels so comfortable with me, he's my best, but he told me, you don't move, yeah, that's why, everybody else is sitting there yawning and all that. You don't move, you're just there, stay put listening to it. And there was also a reason because his public enterprises professor used to talk with a drawl. Like, you have a villain called Ajit in Hindi movies.
Hindi
has a
movie.
drawl. Sara Shahar Lion ke naam se janta hai.
Okay.
And that man's favorite dialogue was that, and this chap used to come and he simply used to snore.
Okay.
And at the end of the whole, this is what I remember very much. And after that, for months, I used to think that no, he's like he's so. One day he told me, "Zada how mat de apne aap ko. This is what you don't move. All the others move a lot because they're not concentrating on the class. So चुपचाप अपना notes दे दे काम खत्म." A lot of masti. We used to go out for long walks. All friends and pranks we played a lot. I don't want to recall that because now I'm the principal of a college. If I tell them about certain pranks, then I won't be able to reprimand people.
It's like acceptable. Principal madam की है, हम लोग भी कर सकते हैं.
No, actually, I know that even my students know that I'm very, very, very prankish myself. But only those who get to know me, as I told you. The others, I told you, I look very strict, teacherly.
So now, did you ever have a professor or a teacher who was taking the entire class just watching at you, staring at you, and not on the rest of the students in the class?
No, I don't think so. The closest I can remember is Nitin Bharadwaj sir in MBA, who used to teach like that because none else used to listen to him. Nobody even maintained eye contact with him.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not giving me marks for that. But at the same time, he was also a music enthusiast and I was also into music. So maybe I thought that worked. Other than that, I don't think so. People used to look at me because, as I told you, I was a topper. But that's it.
Yeah. I was not a topper, but my in my intermediate, my Hindi and English teachers, both the teachers, okay, completely delivered the class just staring at me, and it is so uncomfortable sitting and just watching them nodding their head.
Were you a troublemaker, Ravi?
No, I was not. I was not.
Because back then they used to be very careful only about the troublemakers.
Yeah. So even my friends used to do after every class, the common discussion is, "Chalra చూసారు కదా నీకు అంత అర్థమైపోయింది కదా తర్వాత నాకు చెప్పు." So
actually my problem was that nobody used to look at me. I used to come and complain to my mom. I'm the top, nobody looks at me. She used to say, "నీకు చూడక్కర్లేదు నిన్ను వేరే వాళ్ళని వాళ్ళు చూసుకోవాలి."
So yeah, great memories. I mean, I was like, we were prepared to give in a TC, all that stuff, stuff happened during all notorious stuff we have done.
Can I ask you something? I think to ask
Yeah. Reverse rapid fire. Yeah, please.
Okay, rapid fire for you also. How did you score in your languages?
I was always till 10th. I was like a good boy. I was like 60, 65, 70% was my scoring till 10th. After that, bacha bigad gaya. So the first love and all that started. My languages were really average, like
You don't look
45,
like
50. 45, 50. I'm talking about CBSE, 10th, 12th. Obviously, after 11th, 12th, the importance of languages are like very minimal. Yeah, I'm not really good at languages, honestly, because that's the reason my communication skill is also, not that great grammatically. That's the reason I was also praising with you, Grammarly is good, because I also take help of that app.
No matter how much you study grammar, that's what I find that at least even in your mother tongue, you are never found to be 100% correct.
True.
It's a fact. I found that out because I hold a proficiency degree in English, and sometimes I find that no, no amount of degrees or reading or wetting your own write-ups will make you 100% perfect. No, never in language. No, I was just investigating because you were saying that they were always staring at you. So I was
Yeah, because I was the only person who was always giving response back, listening to them. But that ended up like the entire 2 years, they were like, I'm looking at them and they're looking at me, and it is a continuous process. And I'm like frozen. I cannot do anything. I cannot disturb anybody. So it's like a punishment for like 2 periods. So yeah, but good, nice talking to you. With all this educational knowledge and working with institutions, working for social cause, which you like, you decided not to talk about that. But what would you do when you become the chief minister with all this experience as a writer, as a fictional story writer?
How long will you allow me to be the chief minister at work?
Generally, it is 1 minute, but for you, we can do 3 minutes.
Oh, thanks for the discount. 3 minutes is like it takes time to sign the file, Ravi.
No. This is, yeah. A lot of people misunderstand. It is you become the chief minister for a tenure. Okay, so entire 5 years, 4 years. But you will have, I mean, what you want to focus on, you have time limitation of 1 minute. So here you have 3 minutes. So what are the areas you would focus on?
See, coming from educational background, definitely I would like to work on the education system, but I'm not going to say that today. I realize that there is a basic fault in the way in which the government runs in our country. I know all the stalwarts who have put the constitution together, who have put the policies and structures together, and thought about it in a way. I understand, with due respect to them, I would make the people more accountable as well as the government. It's 50-55. I'll see to it that every project that is taken up by the state government will have to go by yearly appraisal,
Right.
which will be presented to the public every year. It's not only when the assembly is in session. And maybe I will amend a little of the structures and policies so that the people get to vote on the progress of it. Now, don't ask me how, maybe through an app or something like that. Everything is possible these days. But this is what I want to do. And I would divide my tenure into 3 particular phases. And each phase, there will be a direct feedback from the stakeholders. It includes everybody, the public, the people who are actually participating. Because most of the time I find that we as people are complaining, but there are so many bottlenecks from the other end also because of the other problems that the government faces, as we saw in this COVID era. So it is both ways. So I'll break my tenure into 3 different areas. In the first 2 parts, I'll see to it that there is a 50-50 partnership of the government as well as the public. That's how it is going to work in countries like India, I feel. It's not like either it comes from top or it is a popular policy. It should be a blend of both. So the last part I left it because I want to become the chief minister again. So I'll put it to vote and then get the popularity and then become the chief minister again. So that will be the deliverables part, the last part, where you will show how much of work has been done, how much of it is pending, and how much is going to go into the future.
Super. Well, no guest has thought about this or suggested this till date, honestly. And
I
really
have been brought up in detail also, because when I work on my kids, I tell them you need to become a lawyer. Then I tell them what are the things that need to be changed. If a kid of mine becomes a doctor, then I tell them this is what you're going to work on in health system. If you're going to, there's 1 or 2 people who are going to become politicians also in future, and I have plans for that also. Sit with them, their personal ambitions as well as the goals that. See, that's what I'm saying. It is a 50-50 partnership that we need to have now. So if I'm going to become the CM, this is how it is.
So very unique ideology, very unique suggestion where you're basically putting systems in place, process in place where people are measured, questioned about what they're doing, and they deliver. And end of the day, whatever they're promising is delivered. That's the whole agenda. So
No, I'm very meticulous, Ravi, because I've seen that in the Western countries mostly, they have the system where if you are a taxpayer, you can, even in India we can actually. Nobody is stopping us. Let me not degrade my own country. It is very much there, but the system is not in place. Neither are we aware of it. But in the West, actually, if a road is being laid and you have an inconvenience commuting on that road because it has passed the time, like, they've taken 24 hours and beyond that they're working on it, you can actually go to the court of law saying that, I'm finding it difficult to, where we see that for months together, roads are jammed, blocked here, and we huff and buff and go through all that. So that's from where I picked up this concept. To be very honest, when I travel, I see that there are so many things that we can incorporate here and make our systems better.
True. I agree. Very, very nice thought process. I'm sure some of these, I mean, this is what I like when people travel and, come back and impart some best practices. I'm sure some of these things will eventually come, where people like you, discuss this in forum, implement it, put it in their, public mind, especially youth, because you're talking to youth, during your seminars and when you go there. So these will definitely evolve. I mean, very positive about it, and yeah, very very nice talking to you, Andy. I mean, this is a really good discussion, very very fruitful discussion, and I got to know you, got to know some secrets about you. That's also very nice. Very
not
nice.
many. I tried my best not to reveal any of mine. People warned me that be very wary of Ravi because he'll make you talk.
Yeah, you still haven't revealed your best friends, the threesome group. What are their names?
Okay, this is a shout out to Aruna Shankar Yogi and K. Devi.
Okay, who's the, define them in one word, both of them, each one word, just one word to define them.
All three of us were known as the Three Musketeers.
No, but each one has a character, right? So define both of them with one word.
Devi is, is happy-go-lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I should say. She was the best person. She still is the best person in terms of taking everything easily, and she has always a smile on her face. So she is the happy-go-lucky one, the joker of our pack, we used to call her. And Aruna is the most serious and very determined lady. So I really miss them. The way, I mean, I'm still in touch with them. I'm sure they're watching this show also, but hey, you too, I really miss you. We all three of us, we used to sit in the same bench. I have most of my school friends now, we are in touch, and I really miss the school days. I just want to give them a shout out saying that, I miss you all.
That's the best part. When we talk about friends, the best friends are people who have different personalities, need not match our wavelength, or might not be in the same lines when we talk about something, but they're still best friends. And that's the reason we have this free platform. We have people from various backgrounds who are connecting with new friends. We're making new friends, though there is pandemic, there's a lockdown. We have to follow social distancing, but we are making friends during using this platform. So thanks a lot for joining in today, Andy. It was nice talking to you. Some of the personalities like you give a lot of insights and thought process for us, questions for us as to what else we can do in our life. So thank you. I mean, I really enjoyed it. So maybe.
Ravi, thank you so much. It was wonderful speaking to you, and then I'm really amazed at the way in which you made it so very easy for me to talk about things that are not subject. Usually, I talk for hours on various issues, but not about myself. So maybe I should do more of it now.
Yeah.
WurkTV has built that into me now. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Thank you, friends. Do follow ma'am, and she's doing a lot of activities. She also does service-oriented activity, which she couldn't get a chance to mention it here. But yeah, once you follow her and get connected with her, you will definitely know what Dr. Anupama is up to. All we can do as friends is follow her, cheer her, whatever she is doing. A small like, appreciation, a love symbol, makes a lot of difference for people who are doing some voluntary activities and changing the way you think about us. So thank you, friends. Please connect. She's on this particular platform. Feel free to connect with her and follow her. Thank you, ma'am, for taking time out. Have a great day. And I'm sure some of your friends will come back either with complaints or compliments. So watch out.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.